room making the presentation itself, and he said, I'm quite proud of him, but if he's going to do it, he's got to learn to do it on his own. Watch Franchitti.
Here comes Dario, takes a look underneath, into the braking zone, into turn 1, and he picks up the position. So move Franchitti now up to 8th position, bump Rahal back to 9th. Danica Patrick still trying to hold off the ever-closing Rafa Matos, and now Dario Franchitti. And I think those reds have basically fallen off because she is losing contact with Alex Tagliani in front of her.
And she's certainly holding up the queue right now. And in this situation, I think that you're going to see Franchitti, if he can have a run on Alex Tagliani, he might just get himself up there because his car seems to be working not too bad. Now, Tag sees in his mirror that Franchitti is getting close. Excuse me, Rafa Matos is going to end up having to look in his mirror and see that Franchitti is getting close, so he knows that he's got to get himself past Danica Patrick.
Let's see what happens coming off turn 14 here.
Rafa, just a little bit of wiggle coming off the turn. Looks like it's going to be slow going down the straight for him.
Here comes Franchitti looking on the inside of Matos. On board with Dario. Down into 1. He picks up another spot. So Franchitti, who spun on the opening lap of this race, has fought his way back and is now moved into 7th.
And so for Rafa Matos right now in that HP car, he wishes that he had got himself past Danica Patrick earlier, because he knows he probably could have made some space in between there. Now he's going to have the rest of the guys chomping at the bit behind him.
So the man on the move right now is right there in that number 10. Dario Franchitti, last year's champion of the series. They head down towards turn 10.
Now with the red tires that's on Danica Patrick's car, when they start to go off a little bit, because they're a softer compound, the car starts to squirm underneath you. You try to put your foot on the gas to come out of the turn, and the car just wants to wiggle underneath you. And with the blacks that Dario Franchitti has, power down should be maybe just a little bit better.
Push to pass. She's had Danica's down to 4. Franchitti's down to 5. He won't be able to get her on this one.
What he's got to do this lap is take the lap and start to fill the mirrors of Danica Patrick, look on the inside and make sure that Danica knows that he is there.
Heading down towards turn 4. Danica holding off the ever pressure of Dario Franchitti. Nothing has changed up front. Will Power still leads Justin Wilson. This is the best battle we have on the racetrack. That's the idea of what's going on up front. You can see the gap. Jamie, what's the latest on Justin Wilson?
Well, 5 laps to go for Justin Wilson. He has 14 push-to passes left. I asked the team, why isn't he using him? He said it's all about strategy. Justin wanted to stockpile him for the end, and he's using about 2 to 3 per lap starting now.
Well, he's going to need him because he's losing contact right now. Here comes Dario Franchitti. They come out of 14. He's got a run on Danica this time. Patrick down to 3 pushes. Franchitti to 5, and yes, he's going to dive underneath. Can she get him back? No. So Franchitti picks up another spot, moving up to 6th, and he's pulling away. Now, is there enough time for Franchitti to get back into the top 5? Alex Tagliani is about 2.5 seconds ahead.
And on a street course, it's very difficult to be able to see the driver sometimes because he's already gone past around the wall. You see Franchitti, Tagliani's car just a little bit further ahead.
All right, about a lap ago, this is what our camera crew picked up. Watch Will Power down into turn 10.
Whoa, just turned in a little too soon, took it over the alligator bumps. You can see the black marks on the track. And the lap previous to that, Wilson was probably about 0.3 of a second slower, and that lap that we just completed where you saw that squiggle from Will Power, he was actually 0.5 of a second slower. So Justin Wilson has gained a 0.5 second on him. Now Will Power's feeling the pressure, pushing the car, and I talked about getting the car past its limit just a little bit, but you cannot make a mistake like that.
Justin Wilson trying to close the gap down into turn again. This is where the incident happened a lap or more ago, and this time nice and clean.
And remember Australia a couple of years ago with Will Power? just running comfortably out front, and back chicane going down that long straightaway, clipped the inside wall, ended up taking himself out of the race.
Wilson is down to 12. Does he hit the button again? The laps are winding down. This time by, there will be 3 laps remaining on this 1.8-mile circuit. Yes, both of them hit.
But then Will Power regained the speed again, 1/10 of a second faster than Justin Wilson.
Both hit the push-to-pass button on that last lap, so they're down to 6. And oh, here comes Dario Franchitti. He's looking for 5th. Man, he closed that quickly on Tagliani and takes the position. The best car on the racetrack might be that number 10 of Dario Franchitti. He has picked up from 11th to 5th in the last 12 laps, 10 laps.
Remember, Tags has tires that are well worn right now, and the car would be sliding around.
So move Franchitti into the top 5. There's Alex, and let's get an update from Rick DeBrule.
Yeah, as you were mentioning, Scott, just a moment ago, he's been running on tires that are on a second stint. Remember, they didn't change last time, and all the time they kept giving him the countdown. They kept saying, Dario's coming, 2 seconds, Dario's coming, 1.5. He knew he was coming, just wasn't anything he could do.
Battle for 3rd is starting to heat up. Ryan Briscoe has got it, and Elio Castroneves wants it. Two laps remaining. Elio putting pressure on Briscoe. Down through turn 8, turn 9. Not close enough. Oh, and he gets a little wheel spin.
Road drops off just a little bit there because of the crown of the road. As the tires wear, the car will slide out from you a little bit more. What Elio's got to do, though, is be on the tail of his teammate's car going through this fast section down here through 13 and 14 and get a good run off if he wants to have a shot at passing him down the front stretch.
Team Penske running 1st, 3rd, and 4th. There you see all 4 cars as the white flag comes out. 1 lap remaining for Will Power to make it 2 in a row and to make another statement that, boys, you're going to have to deal with me on the road and street courses if you want to go for the championship. Briscoe used another push to pass to hold off Elio.
And the next place that he will use one will probably be down the side straight or on the front stretch coming out of the last turn.
And look at the freight train now closing on Alex Tagliani. He is in 6th. There's Danica running in 7th. Rahal taking a peek underneath. Can't get it done on Rafa Matos. Then Tony Kanaan is behind Rahal. We can tell you that Danica Patrick has burned the final push to pass, so she's on her own from here on out, and those red tires have lost a lot of their grip. Meanwhile, here comes Will Power into turns 13 and 14 for Team Penske. Will Power is going to come home, back-to-back wins, his 3rd win in the
Nice job, Mr. Power. Nice job. He won.
Watch for the pass for 3rd, maybe? No.
Good job, guys.
Does he get him? No. They come across the line with Briscoe holding off Castroneves. Here comes Tagliani as he comes around. It will be Dario Franchitti coming across the line in 5th in just a matter of a moment. Does she hold on to the position for 7th? Because here's Tagliani. Then it'll be Danica.
Oh, yeah. Good job. Good job, kid. Good. Great job.
Oh, that was really tough.
So as they come across the line, Will Power picks up his 3rd IZOD IndyCar Series win in his 24th series start. 2nd win in a row, as we mentioned. And Penske finishes 1, 3, and 4. Only Justin Wilson denying them a sweep of the podium. Want to remind you, we're running just a tad long. NHRA 4-wide nationals are coming up immediately as soon as we get off the air. And you don't want to miss this, because in the funny car final, Ashley, Force, Father John, 2 of the 4 competitors. And if you didn't see it yesterday or in qualifying on Saturday, 4 wide going down the quarter mile is pretty cool. Let's check in with Jamie Little.